All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, how are you all doing? Just making sure that we're live. I hope you're having a fantastic. There we go. Yes. All right. So, how you all doing, ladies and gentlemen? So, first of all, let me tweet it out just for the sake of it. I don't really tweet my videos, but let's. Yeah. Okay. Should be fine. We should be live right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, as you can tell, I'm back again. I'm always back, aren't I? But, well, not always, I guess. But yeah, let's talk about the Alaba situation. Because the Alaba situation is obviously the thing that's on most people's minds right now. And I do have food in the oven, so I can't make this too long. I just put lasagna in, so I can't really stay too long, maybe like 40 minutes at most. But knowing me, I'll probably forget the lasagna anyway, and then it'll burn to a crisp. But I want to talk about the Alaba situation because this is obviously something that is on everyone's mind right now. This is the big thing at the moment. This is the thing that everyone is talking about. Everyone is, well, what's the best way to phrase it? Everyone has an opinion on. And that's okay. Like, it's okay that we all have an opinion on the Alaba situation, because at the end of the day, he is one of our players. He is a player that has been here since he was 17, I believe. I personally wouldn't call him a youth product. I never did, but he is still a player that has been here for such a long time that he might as well be considered a youth product. For me, for you to be counted as like a youth product, you have to be here since like 13, 14, really, like your key development years. But this Alaba situation it's a mess. It's the same way my hair is a mess, which is why you've seen me wear this this for a long time, and because it fits. 2020, we're still in 2020. Tausif, Jake, hi, welcome back to you. I love this feature so much where I can just like highlight comments. And good day, Prince Tausif, good day to you. I know you mentioned like you mentioned on Twitter that you had your hair cut. I really need a haircut. It's getting a little bit much, but yeah. Alaba is one of the key players behind him. Big loss if he left. Yeah, I want to talk about this. Like, I want to talk about this chronologically. From like where it all started. Like when I say where it all started, I'm talking about specifically. Let me turn the fan on. By the way, it's extremely warm. But like where it all started in terms of like where the key over the last 2 days, basically, with the Ole Hernandez interview. More like him being in the studio and whatnot, and the way things have happened and developed now. Lol. Can you reply and mention me? Well, Jake Sykes, there you go. Rest in peace, Juice. I've actually not heard a single Juice WRLD song. I know I know he is a musician that died, but hey, what's up? Nothing actually. just this, I guess. But yeah, I want to talk about Ole Hernandez first of all. Obviously, if you're going about this chronologically, we're talking about Ole Hernandez. Now, before we start about that, I want to say this, right? Also, somebody please remind me like 30 minutes or 40 minutes to check my food. Like as I said, I've put a lasagna in the oven. I can only be here for about 30 to 40 minutes, but I'm going to forget the food in the oven, so it'll probably burn, all right? Knowing me. But let's go back a few months, a few weeks and a few months, all right? The contract issue was a big issue. Now, every time it was brought up, they said, okay, we'll wait until after the Champions League final. We'll wait until then. We're not going to talk about this right now. We're fully focused on the Champions League. That was the big talk. Now, we had terrible talks in the past. We had good talks, according to the rumors. So we've been in this constant state of like, it started off terrible, but it seemed like we were on an upward positive trajectory. Now, the issue with that is that since then, we have heard absolutely nothing. In fact, the rumors have come out that he wants 25 million euros a year, for example, which is just absolutely insane, all right? That's just absolutely insane. But that was basically silence until yesterday. And that's when Ole Hernandez came out. Now, before I start there, let's see what Alaba's agent is smart. Coming off the season, Alaba had you almost be inclined to think he's worth it. Look, man, agents are there to do their job. And the thing with Zahavi is as well that he obviously knows how much Lewandowski is getting because he's the one that orchestrated Lewandowski's contract extension. So he can say, all right, I want, they came out today and said that, they don't want to get as much as Lewandowski. They want to get more than Lewandowski. That doesn't mean that they don't want to get as much as Lewandowski, but we'll get into that all later. He knows, however, how much Lewandowski is getting paid. So from that perspective, he has certain ways that he can do, certain things that he can, certain ways he can operate. Ole Hernandez really isn't helping with his commentary. I actually think his comments helped, because if there was no improvement in the contract deal situation at all, then now with his comments, already the pressure is now on Alaba. The pressure's on Alaba because everyone now is saying, well, Alaba, he just wants money. Alaba wants money. He's only after money. He's here and there and so on and so forth. All right. And the thing is, now the contract, now Alaba basically, he's in a situation where if he doesn't accept, it'll be like, well, it comes down to money. If he does accept, it's like, well, good job. like he could essentially make himself look like the hero by taking a contract, because then the emphasis will be that he isn't money hungry. Whereas previously, the emphasis would be that he is money. If he doesn't accept, it would be that he's money hungry. So like, Ole Hernandez kind of put Bayern in a better position. And I want to get into that all, in much more detail, but let me just read a few comments before we move on, and then we actually start chronologically going through it. I have a question. Why Ole Hernandez puts his nose in everything in the club, like transfers, and he destroys everything if he is out of the club? I wouldn't say he destroys it. I don't know what you mean with that. Like he's been trying. I think he's actually put himself into a very good position with this one. He's still very much involved in the club. Like, just because he's not the president anymore doesn't mean that he's not involved in the club. He is still very, very much involved in the club. I think right now he's in the supervisory board, so he still has a say on things. And very similar to like how Franz Beckenbauer still had very much a say in things as well. How many here from Twitter? I don't think that many, to be honest. His agent probably said to him, look, I'm either going to get you a must payday or you dream move. Something like that. But yeah, so Ole Hernandez, right? Yesterday, I want to get this right here so I can read it chronologically. That's the key aspect here, all right? So for me, the key point right here is that Sahavi wants a double-digit fee for himself. Now that's for me the big point. And you know who's at fault for this? Juventus. Juventus is at. I blame Juventus. All right, I absolutely blame Juventus for this. With the whole Ronaldo saga and then Raiola getting 41 million himself. It's like, bro, how is an agent getting 41 million just because you're transferring your client from one club to, like, that's insane. All right, that is absolutely insane. I blame Raiola for this. All right. But Bayern is never going to pay that. I'll say this right now: Bayern is not going to pay that. Whatever Zahavi demands, if it's double digit, that's not happening. That is not happening. All right, because at that point, it's like we're just buying a new player. At that point, we could just sell him, get a fee, and then buy a new player. Obviously, there's much more to Alaba than just that. But like, for the agent, like, who does the agent? I need to become an agent, bro. I need to become an agent, bro. If any of you are talented footballers that are young at like the 14, 15, 16, 17 years old range, hit me up, bro. I'll be your agent. I'll get you your dream move. Because that's a great job. That is a great job, I have to say. But like, nah, you're not the player. You're his representative, all right? You're not the player. You're just someone that is there to negotiate on his behalf so the player can fully focus on the football. Like, who do you think you are? Like, to me, that's just like, who do you think you are? Like, okay, agents, they're getting paid, say, he gets 1% or at most 5% of the actual contract. I'd be like, okay, you know what? Can be negotiated. But I doubled it. Nah. At that point, you're just taking a Mickey. All right. So let's say Bayern were to do that. First of all, we don't have money. We don't have money for transfers, and now we're suddenly paying Zahavi instead of getting a new player. Like, you know how ridiculous that is. Like agents need to. There needs to be a structure for agents. I know there is a structure for players and everything, but there needs to be a structure for agents as well, because the agents are taking a mick. You look at like the interview that Davis's agent, he's new to the job. So he's not an experienced agent. He doesn't have many clients. He actually, he's talked about his how to deal with Bayern and so on and so forth happened very freely. Like if you go on YouTube, you search Davis's agent, It literally, he just like spells it out for you. Like he's new to it. I didn't have a clue when I talked to Bayern, my club. Why they were very unprofessional, but Bayern because with all their professionality, they were able to like get this deal moving so quickly. I have to say, like, if it wasn't for Bayern, I think this deal could have potentially fell through. So like he's very honest. Like he basically describes how the agent business is going. I'm like, yeah, perfect, brilliant. Okay, good agent. You're looking out for your client. Good agent. You're not looking out for yourself. Granted, Davis's agent had his own company before and everything, and then kind of just stopped it just because Davis's family asked him to represent. But that's a different story, all right? We're talking about Alaba here. So Uli Hoeneß, right? He calls him Zahavi. I want to get the exact wording. All right? So he says, it's not me saying that. This is him saying that. We all want David to stay with us because he's a great guy. Hansi Flick desperately wants to keep him, but he has a money-grubbing piranha as agent, and the father is very influenced by him. My jolly goodness. My jolly goodness. Now, straight up, my jolly goodness, right? You can talk about agents like that all day. You can talk about agents like that all day. I don't have an issue, all right? Real talk. I don't have an issue. You can insult the agents. You can talk about them all you want, right? Because they're always in the limelight. They're always getting hit. They're always being attacked, right? That's fine. The issue for me is he also put it on David Alaba's father. Now, that's an issue because David Alaba will take that personally. He will take that personally, and his father, who is obviously a very big influence for David Alaba, he will influence him to be like, he just insulted me. Get out of there. For me, that's an issue. For me, that is the issue. That like he talked about the father. They're saying that the father is very influenced by Zahavi as well. To me, that was. I get where Uli Hoeneß was going with all of this, but to me, that was the wrong choice. That was the wrong choice, the wrong way to go about it. Uli Hoeneß, obviously, he goes as well that a 4 to 5 year contract. We'll get into a lot more later on. Obviously, once we talk about how the statements from the agent as well as David Alaba, George Alaba's father. But to me, Uli Hoeneß did well. I know people are criticizing him, but Uli Hoeneß to me did well because he put the pressure on them. He put the pressure on specifically Alaba. Basically, if Alaba signs with Bayern, it will come across as, okay, Alaba, he's not after money, he's not money hungry, so on and so forth. That's where the pressure will come on, right? If Alaba signs with him, everything is a-okay. The fans will take it as, great job, Alaba. Now we can see that you're not money hungry, you're loyal. Okay, so on and so forth. If Alaba doesn't sign, it's like, Alaba, you're money hungry. Look at you. Look out after money. What's that? This millionaire that's making what? 16, 17, well, before tax, but like that's making you 16, 17 million a year. That one extra, 2 extra million, and that's what you're gonna leave. So he spun it well. He, from a purely business standpoint, he did it well. Alaba can come out as the hero right now, or he can come out as the villain. Like right away, he put the ball into Alaba's court. Right now, it's like, okay, Bayern, we did what we could, and now it's up to him. That's basically the situation. How we literally presented it as, and people will eat that up. I will eat that up, all right? I'm not gonna lie. I will eat that up. I'm eating that up. Most people are eating that up. They're feasting, right? They are feasting, straight up feasting, all right? Straight up feasting. That's what they're doing. And then the big thing came out. The agent, George Alaba. All of them came out, all right? And this is where the fun started. Now, before this came out, right, there was a report by Bill saying that David Alaba's agent, Penny Zahavi, is asking for around 20. Let that sink in. 20 million as bro. Right? I need to become an agent, bro. I need to why even just find these talented kids. Sign him up, promise them the world. Yo, if you sign for me, kiddo, I'm going to get you a brand new car. Sign for me. You need to do that. I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to buy some cheap cars and then be like, yo, sign up with me. I'll make you rich. I'll make myself rich. I'll promise you a car. 20 million. Who is he think? To me, that's just like, who do you think you are? You're not a footballer. You're not adding value to the club. You're adding value to your client. If anything, your client should be paying you. Alaba should be paying. No, you're not the club. The club. What's the club got to do with you? Straight up, like 20. Those are fees I could only wish and dream to achieve. 20 million. My goodness. My goodness. Now, then Bild also came out and said that Bayern are offering Alaba 11 plus 6 million per year to extend his contract. And Alaba and his agents are demanding over 20 million, which would make him the club's highest earner. Now, again, Zahavi knows how much Lewandowski is getting. 11 plus 6. To me, that's not bad. Like, hey, if somebody offered me 11 plus 6, loyalty? What loyalty? What loyalty? That would be my response, right? If somebody offered me 11 million plus 6, I'd be like, loyalty? I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. All right. But that's what came out, right? And then later on, the agent and George Alaba came out. Now, the interesting part is George Alaba's statement. All right, I have not read the German one, by the way, so I'm just using Amir's translation, who generally has very good translations. Like, whenever I translate something from German to English, I find mine to be a lot more literal, his to be a lot more talkative. What's it like? Not talkative, a lot more colloquial. So it sounds a lot more like something that someone would actually say, whereas I generally translate literally because, I think the literal meaning needs to be brought across as well. But yeah, he basically says, George Alaba basically says, I bought David Alaba to Bayern as a teenager. Over the years, I've had several opportunities to transfer David to another club, but we are loyal and always chose to stay. I didn't expect FC Bayern to be spreading dirty lies in public about salary and commission claims. Claiming that we can't come to an agreement over a new contract due to such payment is one of those filthy allegations. Oh my goodness. And all because we didn't accept the... Wait. And all because we didn't accept these figures that they have presented to us. We have our own ideas. My friend, you just contradicted yourself. you just contradicted... Okay, let me repeat that, right? Let me repeat the key part here. I didn't expect FC Bayern to be spreading dirty lies in public about salary and commission claims. Key part here, claiming that we can't come to an agreement over a new contract due to such payments is one of those filthy allegations. And all because we didn't accept the figures they have presented us. Okay. Okay, you just contradicted yourself there, mate. So you're basically saying, the club is wrong, man. What is the club saying? You're saying that we can't come to an agreement because we can't agree on the correct fee. What nonsense is that? But the reason why he hasn't signed yet is because we can't come to an agreement because of the right fee. Like, do you see how he's contradicting himself in the same statement? So I was like, really now? Really now? Like, really now? Like, that doesn't make sense. So that was the first big thing for me. And then the agent came out. My goodness. He says, and I'm going to quote him here. He said, at no point did I talk in detail about a possible commission payment with the people in charge at Bayern. The only time this topic came up was when we met in Lisbon. Okay. Again, I'm going to repeat that. Just the first part of his statement. He says, at no point did I talk in detail about a possible commission payment with the people in charge at Bayern. The only time this topic came up was when we met in Lisbon. So he didn't. So that was never brought up. But you can talk about in Lisbon. You see where my frustration here comes from. Like, it's like, bro, make your mind up. I expect a significantly better state. Like, if that was me, right? If Alaba should hire me as his agent, if that was me, I'd be like, they have no proof. They can't prove anything. And as we all know, proof is king. Stop talking BS, or he will leave. I don't know. That would be my statement. Right? It would be a terrible statement, but that would be something I would not contradict myself in the first two sentences. All right, we didn't talk about it, but we did have a chat about it in Lisbon. Like, do they not realize what? All right. Anyway, let's continue. Hassan Salihamidzic asked me how I would imagine it. I told him we should work on an agreement with the player first, but I wouldn't ask for more than the usual. Again, at no point did I talk in detail about possible commission payment with the people in charge of Bayern. I told him we should work on an agreement with the player first, but I wouldn't ask for more than the usual. Like, you see how ridiculous this is? Like, all right, look, I'll say this right now. Do I want Alaba gone? Obviously not. I mean, that's ridiculous. Do I want Alaba gone? Absolutely not, all right? Alaba, look, real talk, right? Alaba is not doing himself any favors here. I mean, people have already, made the decision. They made their mind up about Alaba. They're like, sell him, get rid of him, get Lucas and then let him play. And I'm like, bro, calm down, just calm down, all right? The worst part for me are the people that are saying like, the worst part for me, honestly, the people that are saying, well, he nearly cost us the Champions League. Sell him. I'm like, bro, what is wrong with you? It's football, all right? Football is quite literally a game of errors and a game of margins. All right, he might have, even if he cost, like, look at Robin. Robin, 2012, you could say he cost us the Champions League. There's no people who are to this day. That's like the most embarrassed. I don't get embarrassed. You can probably tell I don't get embarrassed. I do YouTube, right? I'm on here right now. I'm talking to all of you. I don't get embarrassed. I don't care, right? There are videos of me on talent stages and whatnot, and I'm just there singing "The Wheels on the Bus Go Round and Round" because I came there literally just for fun and banter, right? In front of like a couple 200 people, right? And I was like, yeah, let's just go there and let me just sing "The Wheels on the Bus Go Round and Round" just for banter, right? There are videos like that out there. I've done stupid stuff like that. I don't get embarrassed, right? Quite frankly, but that was the one moment that I was embarrassed, as a person and as a fan, when the whole thing with Robin happened. Because that was just disgusting, all right? So my situation here is I can understand people wanting to get rid of him because of the contract, because of the reported fee, so on and so forth. That's okay with me. Like, that's okay with me. We have a wage structure, and our wage structure has basically helped us get to the point we're at right now. I don't have an issue with that at all. If people want him gone because reportedly we can't agree on that fee. I'm okay with that. Like, I'm not saying anything about that. But when it comes to the argument that we should get rid of him because of, he nearly cost us X, Y, and Z game, I'm like, bro, that has to be the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Straight up. Now let's continue back with Zahavi's statement. I don't want to get more than other agents who have received commission payments from Bayern. And again, we haven't talked about numbers yet. I don't like these statements at all because they're just terrible. They're just terrible, all right? Now, Sky Sports themselves, who have been reporting this whole thing, who got the statements and whatnot, they said, according to Sky Information, FC Bayern is currently offering a 4-year contract, but Zahavi and Alaba want 5 years. Very similar situation to what happened with Thiago. In addition, the salary is still a sticking point. Before Pini Zahavi was involved in the negotiation, Bayern offered 7.5 million euros net, including bonuses, according to the Alabas. Since then, the offer has been slightly improved, but still far from Bayern's top earners. Although FC Bayern calls Alaba in public as the new Beckenbauer, I think the correct phrasing was a black Beckenbauer, at the same time, they're not prepared to pay him a corresponding salary. A person close to negotiations told Sky. So, here's the thing, all right? Here is the thing. Here's my thoughts with this. 7.5 million net, all right? What's the tax in Germany? 40%, 50%? It doesn't matter. It's roughly 14 to 15 million, all right? And we upped that. As they just said, we upped that. Before Pini, let me read that part again. Before Pini Zahavi was involved in the negotiation, Bayern offered 7.5 million euros net, including bonuses, according to Alaba. Since then, the offer has been slightly improved, but still far from Bayern's top earners. Bayern, we all know that. Bayern's top earner is Lewandowski at 20 million. That he's the highest earner. I think Neuer is at 17. Is Neuer at 18 million? And I think Müller, our third highest earner, is at 70. I think who's higher between Neuer and Müller? I think one of them is at 18 million, one of them is at 17 million. So we offered Alaba 15 million. Now, here's my deal with this, all right? Neuer, he's going to start every game. He is our guaranteed start. I can smell my lasagna. Is it burning? Just based off the smell, I don't think so. All right. But like, here is my thought about all of this. Neuer is a guaranteed starter. He starts every game. If he's fit, he starts the game. All right. That's just a fact of life. All right. Lewandowski starts every game. Müller, that's an iffy one. All right. Müller, you could say, I don't. Yeah. So that's an iffy one. You could make the argument both ways. Under Flick, he's basically started pretty much every game. All right. But like in general, you could say you could have a good argument here and there. All right. Alaba at 15 million, give or take 15 million, before taxes. That's a good one. Like, because Alaba, we have several players that can fill in and slot in for his position. In terms of left center back, we have plenty. Obviously, the big one that stands out is Lucas Hernandez, because he can also fill in at left back, where obviously Alaba plays as well. We have Davis, who can slot in at left back. Alaba is not going to play in midfield for us. That's not going to happen. All right, I'm sorry, that's not going to happen. I know that's his wish, but that's not going to happen. We've improved from that 7.5 million offer. They've said that we've improved probably to 8 million. That would be my guess, that we improved it to 8 million, which would be roughly like 16 million a year. That's good. That's good. All right, I'm sorry. That is good. For me, at the absolute most, 16.5 million. At the absolute most, right? And then in 2-3 years, we can talk about it again. But as of right now, 16.5, especially with Corona, like 16 million. Honestly, for me, I mean, guys, I'm not a millionaire. I'm not a player, right? So I can't really talk, but 16 million is great. You look at the highest earners ever at Bayern. It's Lewandowski and probably Luca Toni. Those are the only two players that have ever really made like 20. The rumors are saying Alaba obviously between 25 and 20. For me, that's like, bro, you're reaching, all right? I know the market is I know prices are going up in football, but you're reaching. And yeah, that to me is like, bro, that's too much. Like that's too much. That's the point where someone that wants Alaba to stay, is like, ooh, yeah, that's a bit much. That's a sticky point. That's a sticky point. That's a very sticky point. Now, it also came out that Alaba, they can imagine the thing to happen. They can imagine they want to stay at Bayern and they ultimately want that to continue. But to me, it's like, bro, look. Corona season, all right? We're in Corona season. That's the issue. We're in Corona season. You need to calm down. Like you need to actually calm down. Jetzt spricht Alaba bei Bildsport. Ein paar Aussagen haben mich verletzt. Okay. So apparently Falk for Build just came out, like as we're speaking right now, just came out that Alaba, of course, Build Plus, isn't it? Is it Build Plus? Please don't tell me it's Build Plus. Yeah. Is it Build? It's not Build Plus. No, it is Build Plus. Screw it. Screw it. All right. Basically says, I hope we can find a solution as soon as possible. All right. I can't read a full article, but the basically says, I hope that we can find a solution as soon as possible. Yeah, so do I. I don't like these transfer sagas personally. But yeah, let me see what some of you lot said, and then wait until we find out more from the Build Plus article. But yeah, let me see what some of you lot wrote. We should prepare Nianzou and Lucas as Alaba replacement. Alaba should be sold with that money. With that money, we buy. See, Nianzou, I think he's going to have a lot better time at Bayern than people probably think. People don't even have him on the radar. But he just got injured. He just got injured, right? And he's still relatively young. I don't want to sell Alaba. That's the key thing. I don't want to sell Alaba. Nobody's going to buy Alaba. If we have to part, let it be next season. Because in emergency, we have. I want at least in one area of the field, I want some squad depth. So from that perspective, I do want to say I don't want to sell Alaba per se. Milan Gasic writes, super agents ruin the game. They have way too much power. I agree with that. You're the agent. You're working for a player. You don't have the right to like the what? Whew, 20 million, bro. My goodness, my goodness, my jolly goodness. Yo, imagine. My goodness, I imagine 20 million. Nah, that's to me that's crazy. Thanks for the info about Uli. I thought he's out, but do you think if the board don't support Hansi Flick, the team will continue in the same pace? He needs a backup right back and a midfield. Midfield, I think we're good. He needs a winger. Most importantly, he needs a winger. I don't think we need a backup right back, and I'll be honest, I don't. I think we need a winger. Actually, funny enough, I spoke to I was on Milan Road for the what's called mailbag. So if you guys want to read my thoughts in if you guys want to read my thoughts, I'll leave it in the description down below and I'll have it as a first comment. My participation in the Mirzan Roads mailbag. But I don't think we need a right back. I do think we need a winger though. Do you think we should sell Alaba and give Lucas a chance? I don't think we should sell Alaba. If we leave, we leave amicably at the end of next season. He can leave as a free agent. I do think if we can't find a solution, then ease Lucas into that role. I mean, when he's played, he has looked good. But obviously he was injured for a significant portion of the season. But ease him into that role, have him play a lot more, and then we kind of go from there and then see what we need to do. Hashtag Lucas season, Giorno. It really looks like you have a dream. Lucas season. Yeah, everyone's saying Lucas season, bro. Why don't Bayern get another American talent? I mean, look, for us, it really isn't as much as getting a specific player, getting a specific talent, I should say. It's more from a specific nation. I know with Davis, it worked out, and there is a thing that we are making a significant amount of money right now from Davies alone, from the commercial aspect, because so many people from Canada and even not from America are purchasing his shirt. So he's a very big kid just from a commercial aspect. But the thing you gotta always remember is the commercial aspect is great and will help you in future negotiations, but it doesn't really put that much money in your pocket. Bayern won't get that much money. Adidas will get, they will get the majority of the money. But then in the next negotiations, Bayern can be yeah, we demand 2 million or 3, or we demand 20 million more a year because clearly we're being a big hit in X, Y, and Z region. So once the next bunch of negotiations comes around, that's when Bayern can then demand them more. But we don't. I can't say we don't, because then you look at 2012 when we got talent from all over the world for commercial aspects. But yeah, we don't generally get players that we buy just because they're from a region, that kind of thing. We just buy players that are talented. Mr. Germany writes, I agree, but you can't compare Robin with that. Being responsible for conceding a goal is way worse than being responsible for not scoring one. Look, for me, both things are terrible. Blaming a player, blaming another player for certain things, to me, that's just okay, when I say blaming a player, you can blame a player. I criticize players a lot of the time. I don't have an issue with that. But you got to keep it respectful. You gotta keep it, within borders. Straight there's a difference between criticizing someone, I guess if you want to call it constructively, although just fair criticism is fair as well, and booing them, wishing them out, these kind of things. But I get what you're saying, but to me, both aspects are very, very bad. Alfo, hello there. That's a lovely cat picture. That's a very lovely cat picture. Is way too much. Why don't I think you mean the sums, yeah. Bill is just posted a paywall article of an interview with Alaba regarding issue. Yeah, the Bill Plus article that I just mentioned, but the key aspect of it is that they're trying to find an amicable solution, so that's fine. Lewandowski is also Zava all I mentioned that. Does he have random cuts? Do I don't think anyone else has mentioned that, but yeah. New tweet. Alaba wants to find a solution. I just read that, Killua. Jerky 2K. I kind of came late. What do you think about all of this? I think Uli Hernandez did the right thing, although I don't agree with him necessarily talking about Alaba's father in that manner as well, saying that Alaba's father is influenced by Zahavi. I do think, though, he firmly put the situation into Alaba's court, and Alaba can make himself look like a hero right now, or can make himself look like a villain. I think Bayern, as of this moment, essentially look like the responsible party here, and Alaba looks like the money-hungry person. So, but he put Bayern on the right path, like making from a PR spin, I guess. And ultimately, it would be a great PR spin as well for Alaba. But I don't like this saga. I don't. The thing that I don't like about the saga is that we're going public, and I don't like. I know why we're going public, but I don't like it. I just don't. I just do not like it. Like I'd much rather prefer things being done in the background, and then suddenly we just hear about it like that. And that's just my preference, though. I'm not the one that's. I'm not the agent here. I wish I was the agent here. 20 million, bro. I wish I was the agent, but yeah. False and nothing's new hair. His hair is as bad as mine, and mine is terrible. So that's all I can say about that. How's Alaba of all people demanding the most money? Look, man, his argument is, I came here when I was very young, when I think 17. I've been here for such a long period of time. Players in the world, you look at Manchester United, you look at not Manchester City. Manchester City actually don't pay that high wages, but like specifically Manchester United, so on and so forth, they pay very much high wages. So from that regard, it's like, bro, I want that money as well. I would have understood his negotiations any other year except for the Corona season. I'm like, bro, no. No. I'm sorry. No. Who do you think we'd sign? Nobody. Perfect. Nobody. Yeah, nobody. Absolutely. Oh, yeah, I can definitely smell my lasagna burning right now. Absolutely no. I'm going to give my lasagna another 2 minutes. I'm going to end the stream like 2-3 minutes, but I can definitely smell it burning right now. Doesn't matter. As long as I can eat it, it's fine. The club official publicly discussed the need for further depth and tight schedule. I'm going to lose 3 players plus 2 players in a complicated city. How do you see it panning out until the end of the transfer? Well, Flick has come out and essentially said that he wants more depth, but Rummenigge basically said yesterday that if we lose Thiago, then we won't buy a replacement for him, and we likely won't buy a fourth winger. So just from that perspective, you gotta look at it and be like, yeah, we're likely not making any signings. Well, straight up, like if we get like a young prospect in or promote some youth players, then perhaps, but like we likely won't get any signings, and that's just the way it is. I hope that Lucas Hernandez proves himself this season. He's been injured, riddled for us, and I really want him to see with us. I loved watching him in the France team in 2018. I did too. 2018, him left back, Pavard as right back. That was that. The goal that Pavard scored against Argentina was a brilliant goal. Obviously, Lucas Hernandez getting the assist from one fullback to the other fullback, kind of the way that Kimmich scored against Barcelona through Davis's run. It's like, yeah, that's kind of what I want to see. And I'm just hoping. My thing is this: I'm hoping that Lucas Hernandez can slot in, because obviously, this season hasn't been the best for him because he was injured for such a large period of time. But I felt like when he played, he actually looked very good. Just a shame that he couldn't stay fit. So from that perspective, I'm like, yeah, you know what? Cool. Let's see what this new season brings. Should we be concerned about other players and their wage demands in the future? No, because you look at our wage structure. Lewandowski is the best paid player at 20 million, and Müller and Neuer are at 18 and 17 million respectively. So people know what like our upper level is. Yes, money is increasing in football all the time, but we're gradually improving it. We're not like suddenly like, okay, Lewandowski, you get 50. We're not doing anything of that sort. So I don't think so. The players know, where their standing is in the team. And from that perspective, I don't think it's really gonna, go up or down. I think people know what they can expect, and from that perspective, I'm not really worried at all. Why Biden? He can play. Look, man, it's fine. Who did join? Like Inter Milan, I think. It's fine. Don't worry. He's good, actually good, but like it's fine. Do you think we should? Yeah, I do think we should have kept Perisic. That is the one thing that I wish we would have done. I wish we would have kept Perisic. Hamburg just lost 4-1. I was watching it actually before I started this live stream. I was watching that in the Wolves game. when I was watching the Hamburg game, they were down 2-0. I was like, bro, how are you still a team? How are you still a team losing against Dynamo Dresden? Now, Dynamo Dresden was great, and they had fans in the stadium. So I'm like, okay, they're a team that has that have amazing fans. But like, bro, Hamburg, liquidate. Straight up, liquidate, all right? The dinosaur has perished. The meteor hit. Good luck with you, Lania. Thank you very much. My food burns in my house. Like, usually I know when my food is ready when I hear the smoke alarm. That's straight up. When I hear the smoke alarm, I know, okay, food is ready. And by that time, it's often too late. But yeah. We're going to end it off with this final question, ladies and gentlemen. Who is the better centre-back, Boateng or Kuffour? Look, man, Boateng. Boateng in 2014 was absolutely unbeatable. He was the best centre-back that I've seen at Bayern. Straight up. I love Kuffour, especially because obviously he's Ghanaian, but also because I had she wasn't my family member, but like I had a family member. Like she wasn't my family member, but I treated her like family because me and her grew up together essentially. So I basically treated her like my sister, and her family knew Kuffour personally, and so I kind of like knew Kuffour as well. So I kind of have like this view, this like higher than average view of Kuffour, but like I have to say Boateng. I have to say Boateng, all right? Without further signings, well, Goretzka needs to step in and start preaching during training. True, but Goretzka has stepped up, so I'm okay with that. Do you recommend in being a Bayern member? I mean, it's up to you. Do you buy a lot of things in the shop? If so, yes, you get a 10% discount. Do you go to matches a lot? If so, I'd recommend it as well. I always get it. But, depending on your financial situation, it might be a lot, it might not be a lot, just depending on that, really. I want Alaba to stay, but his wages are insane. This is what I very much agree with. Okay, now I can definitely smell the food. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to finish reading the final comments, and then I'm going to end it here, because I can definitely smell the food right now. If we lose Alcantara and Alaba, we're going to downgrade slightly. I'm not happy about it, but if Hernandez steps up and Davies at left back, Kimmich and mid keeps improving, we should be good. Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, Kimmich has been our best midfielder of the season. I've said this plenty of times, but he's been our best midfielder of this season. So I'm not that worried about the midfield. Alaba, I don't think we're gonna sell. I don't think we're gonna sell. Like, even if he doesn't extend his contract, I don't think we're gonna sell. But he's gonna leave on a free in come summer. So I don't think we're gonna sell him. So sad seeing Hamburg has a lot on fine, but no, no, just no. Will Adrian Fine get minutes on the flick? I don't think so. He's had a good first half and then a terrible second half on his loan spell. So we'll see, but I don't think so. I think Kwasi will get a lot more minutes than him. So we have plenty of centre backs. That's the thing. We have plenty of centre backs who are now back and fully fit. So I don't see that. I used to want the elect team, but I enjoy watching him on the Netherlands team. Fair enough. I still can't take the Nations League seriously because it's a B-Tech Euro. So I watch it while I'm like, bro, I could be doing so much better with my time. And better than friendlies, I guess. Move Davis to wing. I actually mentioned that already, that we could move Davis to wing. He could be our fourth centre back. Our fourth left back or fourth right back. He played both for Vancouver Whitecaps, but we'll see how the season progresses. Anyway, though, ladies and gentlemen, before my house burns down, I do want to say enjoy the weekend, everyone. Actually, the weekend is over. Enjoy the rest of the week, everyone. Bundesliga is starting against Schalke. Woo! Are the 18th? So I'm looking forward to that. As I said as well, though, if you want to check out Mir Zan Roth's article discussion thing, I took part in that this week, so you can read that as well. I'll have that link. I'll have that pinned in the comment section down below, and the first in the description as well. But yeah, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, ladies and gentlemen. That always helps. But until next time, I'll see you all then. Have a nice day. Peace out and